Right, ladies and gentlemen, I am here recording again this morning. Started to do this last night, and man, it was a long day, and just kind of decided to finish off spring break last night. So I'm here this morning. I'm going to do some training videos specifically regarding remote learning, some of the setups that I have, the stuff that works for me. This is going to be advice for people who are going to be delivering remote learning, but it's also hopefully going to be valuable information for my students in the remote experience now about how I want things, how I think things are going to work. Now, we have to be open to change here and fluid because situations change each and every day. They could announce tomorrow that it's fine, everybody's going back to school. If they do that, that's going to be a jerk move. But we'll plan for the worst, hope for the best, and live somewhere in the middle. So one of the things that's going to be super important for everybody is to take control of your time. Remote learning, online learning, requires a level of self-discipline, organization, and time management that puts a lot more responsibility on the learner than on the instructor. Now, the instructors, we've got our own things to deal with because we're going to be fielding a whole bunch of questions. So one of the first things that I think we want to do is to alleviate people's concerns. So I'm going to be doing some live sessions just like this where people can hop in and we can have conversations. But I know that there's also going to have to be those one-on-one meetings. So I'm going to extend my office hours. Truth be told, learners, you don't use my office hours anyways. I mean, here and there you kind of sort of when I force you to. But I'm going to encourage you, just because we're not in the same space does not mean that we have to have distance between us. Distance learning is a physical definer, but we can still have the same conversations that we have in the classrooms, in the hallways, through stuff like this, through other tools that I'm going to show you. So anyway, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to set up my calendar for next week and probably going forward, honestly, a very specific day for learners to have conversations one-on-one with virtual office hours. So from my Gmail account, let me hop over to my calendar, and bingo, bango, bongo. This is my calendar, comes up. I've got a weekly view, I've got a day view, I've got a month view. We're going to go to the day view. And then, actually, let's skip back to the week view so I can kind of give you an overview here. If I look at what next week looks like for me right now, I had blocked out some time in my schedule for program development. You know what? This is just going to go bye-bye. And delete all of those. Yep, and yes, this is going to be changing a lot of our lives for the next couple weeks. I'm going to plan like it's for the rest of the semester, just based on logic. But here you go. I can see when I've got my student worker coming in. I can see when I've got my class times. Those will change. We'll talk about that in a little bit, probably in another video. I want to keep these things short. But let's go ahead and look at Thursday. And let me delete this thing because I started to create this last night, but I'm going to actually recreate it. So, all right. I'm using the Reflect Chrome extension over here so you can see me, feel a little bit more personal with my instructions. But I've got Thursday wide open right now. I'm going to assume that Monday on campus is going to be crazy. Tuesday a little less crazy. Wednesday probably back to crazy. And then Thursday, this is my day for connecting with the learners in my program. So what I'm going to do is probably from about 8 And I can click right here and double clicked, and this dialog form came up. And I'm going to create 10, we'll call this 10-minute sessions. Ooh, wait a second. Hold on. Scratch that, discard that. Let me go, I click once. Let me just click once because I didn't see where this was in another spot. So back up on your calendar, roughly where you want this to appear. You can go ahead and click, bam. Okay. Now you can see it says event, out of office, and appointment slots. I'm going to set up appointment slots. And then we're going to go here, Q&A sessions, individual sessions. All right. And I can set up the time frame. I'm going to open this up. I'm pretty much going to let this go all day and even probably into the evening to address some of the... Actually, no, most of my students are around on Thursday, so I think I don't have to do evening. I can say evening by appointment, but if I wanted to, I could. I'm going to try to stay sane with this, 9 to noon, and then I'll take a lunch. But I'm going to make these sessions 15 minutes long. People are usually a couple minutes late. I don't anticipate having too much time talking. I mean, with what I have planned, it should be fairly clear because I'm going to communicate to the learners starting on Monday through this same medium here, video and things like that. That by Thursday, it should just be the straggler questions, hopefully. So you may or may not have this make it a Zoom meeting button. This is something that we can get turned on. This is an extension in Google Chrome, and it connects into your calendar. So in place of Google Hangouts. Now I prefer Zoom to Hangouts, just like the rest of the world, but I'll have a video on using Zoom next week. But I'm going to anticipate that you're going to have this, and bingo, bango, bongo, here you go. I can click on this now, and there is an appointment page for this calendar. Now if I click on this and go to next week, bum, 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 bum. Here we go. On Thursday, you can see these are bookable sessions. Sorry, I can't say that word. I had office hours. I was using this before for my office hours physically, and it worked awesome. So while this stuff that we're doing right now for the remote learning initiative, this is stuff I think that's going to help you even in your when things get back to normal. But a learner could click on this button here, book an appointment, the where, I got a webcam link to the Zoom link that was auto-populated. Here's the description, and the person can customize details if they want to add in any information into the description. So I'll cancel that though. And this link here, this is something that I will share through my Sakai show, through email, through probably even social, maybe not social media, but I will communicate to my learners that this is the appointments. And this will also then show up blocked off on my own calendar. One other thing here, I'll go back and edit this. I'm really trying to be, oh geez, where did it go? Usually you can color code this bad boy. Oh, I know how to do that. You can command and click. I'm really trying to color code all of my things here. So let's go ahead and I'm going to make my office hours mango or red or whatever the freak it is. Here we go, back over 1 until 5. That should be good enough, right? I'm actually going to go until, yeah, that's fine. I can do other hours of appointment, right? But here we go, Q&A, individual sessions, appointment slots, 15 minutes, make it a Zoom meeting, Command right click. Since I have a Mac, if you have a Windows machine, it's going to be different. There we go. And I can change the color there. So again, now I can share out this link, and then all people have to do is click the button for when they want to show up. I'll get an email. They'll get an email. If you use the Google Calendar on your phone, you'll get a reminder. You can see your whole entire day. Ooh, that's one other thing. Let me show you this. In the view here, if I go to schedule, it actually gives me like an outline list, which is pretty phenomenal. Holy mackerel. There's a lot of stuff going on. But here you go, right? Thursday next week from 9 to noon. Open Q&A sessions for individual questions, and 1 to 5, same thing. So, folks, it's going to be a trying time. There's going to be challenges, changes. We all have to work together, support each other. But we can do this. This is where Northwest Ohio leads. We are built to help people with this. So let's work together. Let's make it happen.